What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bronx Pinstripes show. It's Scott's birthday. Scott, happy birthday. Aaron Judge literally ran through a wall for you as your gift.
Well, I appreciate that. I prefer him to not run through walls and just catch the balls without, having to impact the wall. But goddamn, was that a great catch? Goddamn, do I appreciate a guy who goes after the ball for his job, puts his body on the line, even though when I step back, I don't want Aaron Judge to be hurt or put his body on the line, but I really appreciate it. In the moment, I really appreciate it. And my God, did he gave zero Fs about his well-being, about his body. That ball was caught. It hit the leather practically at the same time when he hit the wall. It was that close. It was an amazing catch.
Yeah, and if it's not for that 6 inches of concrete at the base that he slammed his toe into, he wouldn't be out of the lineup and potentially going on the IL because he would have just gone through the wall. Like we were talking before we started recording, if that's just a solid padded wall, maybe you've got a shoulder injury or a wrist injury or something. But the fact that he hit it where the fence splits, which is like the best place to hit it so you can just bash through that thing. That was best case scenario for not getting injured on the impact, but unfortunately the stupid concrete at the bottom, so he could have a broken toe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if he had a broken toe, we'd know it already. But that
not according to Judge. He said, "I don't know. I've never had a broken toe. I don't know what it feels like."
But the fact that there's concrete at the bottom of that thing without any kind of padding on there is a little crazy.
That's every wall though. Go look at call up pictures of Yankee Stadium, like the very bottom. The only
is
difference,
there concrete on the very bottom of it, or do they have padding going all the way down?
No. So the difference in a lot of stadiums is the concrete is not flush with the padding. It's maybe a couple inches back. Yeah. So you're not usually going to hit it. But yeah, that when they did the Sunday night baseball feature, Eduardo Perez breaking down the fence and the wall, and they showed that concrete. I'm like, yeah, how do more guys not get injured on that thing?
Yeah, it looked like a lot. But no, man, like that catch was absolutely ridiculous. The crazy thing about it when they awarded the extra base because he went out of play and Boone was coming out and like, everybody
Boone was like, you kidding me?
Yeah, but the umpires were doing the same thing. They're like, I don't know what to tell you. It's the rule. I understand that he crashed through the wall, but the rule is at a play, extra base, the award. What happened to the discretion of the umpire? But I think everybody was laughing at that to the point where it's like, yes, we all understand this is ridiculous, but by the letter of the law, there's the ability to get that extra base. But yeah, it was an insane catch, a really insane catch at a big moment.
Yeah, I mean the rule is there if a guy goes tumbling over a fence into the stands. So I think that is the coolest catch. Maybe it's not the best catch from a technical standpoint of his career, but you're not going to do many more things more badass on a baseball field than literally running through a wall.
No, I mean that's the all-time sign of commitment is running through a wall, even the proverbial wall that you want to run through after someone gets you fired up. Like that's it. Your team guy, you run through a wall, and Aaron Judge did exactly that. Ran through and destroyed a wall. He destroyed a wall.
And it saved the game because if he does not make that catch, you're looking at a run scoring and a runner at least on second base with no outs in what would have been then a 1-run game. Yeah. So that's a potentially game-saving catch in a very cool moment. You just got to hope he's not out. I mean, Boone was talking last night on the Sunday night broadcast that they were doing treatment on him all day and just wanted to get him out of the lineup, get him off his feet, and then so he could have back-to-back days off.
I feel like if it were a broken toe, first of all, an X-ray could pick up a broken toe in 5 minutes. So they
even if it's not broken though, if it's sore, like if he's dealing with a sore toe for a while, like we saw what that did, it crippled DJ LeMahieu last year to the point where he was a shell of himself at the plate. Like if you're not able to pivot on that foot,
a torn tendon in his foot. It's different. A bruise and a torn tendon.
Listen, I know. I'm just saying, like it's not like a toe is an insignificant injury. If his toe is injured to some degree, that could be a potentially significant injury.
Yes. I'm glad that the construction of that wall and the gate was exactly where it was, because if that thing were solid, if that was a solid wall and he caught that with the impact, and speed that he did,
broken wrist,
there would
messed
be a
up
lot of
shoulder,
yeah.
something going on
so
there.
The fact that the wall and the gate gave him a little bit of a cradle for a 6'7", 260-pound man. I'm happy about that. The fence caught him.
It was like a wrestling thing, like because he's like stumbling, he like stands up, he's like, "What the f just happened? Where am I? Like, what is going on?
What asshole threw a table at me?"
It was I that was one of those, like, I saw it happen. I'm just like, holy shit! Like, holy shit! That was freaking cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was I was watching the game and I was like, Bevan was watching something. Who knows? She was on the couch watching with me, but I was like, man, you gotta watch this. This guy's become he has become must-see TV every time he plays. Whether it's robbing a home run over the fence, hitting the home run, hitting line drives, crashing through walls. The guy is unreal. He really is. We're watching. I've said this in the past, but we're watching one of the all-timers in real time, and it's pretty special.
What is Judge up defensive runs saved now, guys? If you could pull that up on Fangraphs, because I'm pretty sure, like, the way defensive runs saved is, like, if you're robbing a home run or like doing something like he did the other night, like, that's a significant increase to your DRS. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding it, but I would imagine, at least in right field, because that's where most of his home run robberies and amazing catches, although he did rob Ohtani of a home run in playing center field. So yeah, well, but more on the injury front, like, because the reason I say you're on injury watch for Judge is because even though the roster just, is getting guys back with Donaldson and Canely and Stanton over the weekend, you've got Nestor likely going on the IL now. And then if Judge is out, even if he's just day to day or out for a week or a short period, you're just like, here we go again, one step forward, one step back with this roster.
Yeah, well, you think he's an injury guy, right? So you're just expecting the other shoe to drop with a guy like Judge.
I hate it's -5 DRS for Judge.
Yeah, I don't
fuck advanced fielding metrics.
No, and so like last year it was like 3. So in right field it's -3. But I didn't even know he played. Yeah, he did play a couple innings of center field this year. But I didn't everything, his arm, his good fielding plays, runs saved above average. All the like, stuff that quantifies it.
Are you on Arson Judge's Fangraph page? What is going on?
I must be. So his outs above average is 1. I don't believe that. And his DRS is -5 for all of his outfield and -3 in right field, according to Fangraphs. I don't believe that for a second.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why.
Yeah, but defense, small
advanced
sample.
metrics are bullshit.
Yeah, really.
The defensive ones, it's hard because, by all accounts, Judge, eye test wise, is one of the best right fielders in baseball, and he continues to make stunning plays in the field to save runs.
How many home runs
games.
has he robbed this year? 3, and he's got a negative. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make
because
any
in past years, he's been one of the league leaders in DRS for right field.
So that ball that was hit, but that he and Greg Allen had a miscommunication on the other night. Is that on Judge? Does that go as a negative against Aaron Judge because of the area the ball landed?
You would have to assume though that it wouldn't, because I mean I know like it's hard to compare it to an error, but an error, like if they don't touch the ball, it's not charged.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't it?
No, I think it does. No, I think
how far they have to range. And,
unless it,
do the nerds know who called it? Do the nerds know who called the ball?
No, it's just talking.
Just communicate telepathically. No, I think what it has to do is it's just where the ball is hit and like what it is. Okay, where that ball was hit, how many right fielders get to that ball, how many center fielders get to that ball, and it could potentially be negative for both the center fielder and the right fielder.
Yeah.
So on Baseball Savant, you could kind of go deeper into outs above average, which is the StatCast metric, and his success rate is 94%. So
what is success rate?
So basically, the way I understand it is like he has had he's had 95.
Guys, so he's had, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, it's that was actually
if I had one one request and one gift. It would be to not nerd out
you don't
this
like
pod
it
too much.
You don't like advanced stats on Judge's
On
crappy
Judges
defense
trying to
this?
this is us trying to find one nerd that thinks he's a good outfielder, which is insanity. Yeah,
it's really
that's what
it's
I'm
very
saying.
weird.
Yeah, so I wanted to say, you'll laugh at this, Scott, because Kemp's getting to the age where he's going to start playing Little League. And the thing the other night with Judge running through the wall and the umpires ruling, like, sorry, Boone, like, that's just the rule. Like, I don't know what to do. I took Harrison to the park Saturday morning, and there's Little League fields there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just running around, and there was a Little League game going on. And a ball was hit down the line, and there's a tree that overhangs like kind of into fair territory. So it hit off the tree, and the shortstop made an unbelievable like basket catch, like in foul
left field. Yeah.
It was down left field. Yeah, the shortstop like comes over, he falls down, makes this unbelievable basket catch, and I'm like, wow, like awesome play. And
off the branch.
And so the hitting team, the coach is like screams like, that's a dead ball. And the umpire's like, sorry, like, I don't know what to tell you. It's not. And he's like, no, it's supposed to be a dead ball. And then the umpire goes, it hit a leaf. And then the ump goes, that's the same thing as hitting a tree. And the umpire goes, no, it's different. And I'm just like, okay,
the
what
discretion of what hit on the tree.
What do you say to that? You got parents getting all upset. I'm just sitting there chasing my toddler around. I'm like, I am not looking forward to this in a few years.
How about someone just cut that branch?
That's what I was thinking, because it's a nice field. Otherwise, like it's a pretty nice field. Yeah,
cut that branch. Yeah, if we're doing Little League updates, Kemp went 3 for 3, had some line drives, and made an out, which is like a rarity in T-ball. Fielded the ball cleanly, ran over the first.
What's his outs above average in T-ball? What are the advanced metrics on the T-ballers?
Yeah, and fielded it and he went over the first. And one thing I do, 3 for 3, meaning like he hit the ball 3 times. He did have one of the first baseman made a nice play on a ball and got him out at first base, and visibly I could tell that he was annoyed that he got out, which I really liked, which means he wants to get on base. He does not want to get out. He didn't make a thing. I could just visibly see that he was like disappointed that he got out, which I really like. That means he's got a little bit of that fight inside, and I like that.
Yeah, now you just got to teach him to run through walls.
Now you got to teach him to run through the first baseman. He won't catch it.
Well, before we go deeper into Nestor Cortes' potential IL stint, I want to tell you guys about Oakley. We are brought to you today by Oakley. There is more than meets the eye with our friends. Oakley, I've been wearing their ski goggles for many years. There's no brand that I trust more when I'm on the mountain, but their sunglasses are amazing too. Oakley has established themselves as the sunglasses company made for activities. Scott is indoors wearing his very dark, gigantic shades indoors. So if you want to see that, go to the YouTube and you can see him wearing sunglasses indoors. And since it's his birthday, I'm not going to call him an asshole for it. If you run, golf, train, or just want to look like your favorite athlete, you can do that with Oakley because they've got a pair of lenses for everything. On their website, you can select the sport that you're shopping by: baseball, golf, cycling, snow, and surf, and much more. They also have everyday eyewear too, and they have Prism lens technology, which they've been working on for decades. This proprietary lens technology will make you say WTF when you see it. The only way I can describe it, and Scott sort of described it the same way, everything pops. Everything's like in high definition when you're looking at that. It's really, really cool. Go to Oakley.com for more information about that. And if you want to buy a pair for yourself, go to Oakley.com and like I said, shop by any of those categories. And thank you to Oakley for sponsoring us. They are going to be with us for the next month or so. Nestor, unfortunately, is probably going on the IL. This might explain why once he gets to that sort of 75, 80 pitch point in the game, getting into the 5th inning, third time through the lineup, he's not able to sustain with his location, and he's not able to be as effective. Like, you would just think with a shoulder injury or something like that, you're like, oh, the guy's going to lose velocity, but Nestor Cortes is not a velocity guy anyway. But if you're missing location and you don't have the same command because your shoulder is getting tired quicker, that's also going to impact you.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the infamous dead arm, where he doesn't have the long spring training. He's jumping back into action, and maybe it was too quick. And I don't know. I'm making things up at this point. But if that's the case, little R&R for the guy, I think will will be a very good thing. And a lot of times it does fix it. So it doesn't seem like there's an injury per se. A that's really hard to say. A sore shoulder is, I could be bad. Don't get me wrong. Like that's not what you want from a pitcher. Elbow, shoulder, not great to be. But if it's more of like a tired arm or just general soreness, and they're going to give him some rest, then I think that's a smart thing to do at this point.
Yeah, but if it was like the classic dead arm, do you think they would specify shoulder? Because I feel like guys have gone. I feel like guys have gone on the IL before with just dead arm, and you're just like, oh, his arm's tired. Like,
yeah, but that's I mean, it usually is in the shoulder. It's not.
Yes,
it's not.
Yeah, because
elbow,
if it's an elbow
thing,
if it's an elbow or a forearm, then you're thinking Tommy John surgery, like
something very different.
Yeah.
Whereas, your shoulder is the workhorse, and it can just get sore. So that's why I assume it's something like that, and I hope so. Because if that's the case, then rest truly can fix this and can get him back onto. It's just a matter of how long that rest is going to be needed for him.
Boone said,
right, and I don't know where that barometer is. 1 or 2 starts, okay, but so that sounds like a little bit of a phantom IL, honestly. If it's a starting pitcher and you're saying 1 or 2 starts, that means he just needs some rest. There's general fatigue, and they're just like, okay, you know what? It's not working. You're not pitching well into that third. Let's just give you some time. We have guys who can do very similar things to what you're doing right now. We need you healthy, and let's just put you on, and we'll call it a short shoulder.
Well, the thing is, they also said he's having trouble recovering from starts. So I don't know if this is something he was vocal about and the trainers knew about, but maybe the trainers knew about it and they're like, well, nothing's wrong with you. We've done tests. Like you're fine. You're healthy. And yeah. And then at that point, especially when a guy has continued to struggle at the same point in a game. Yeah. At this point,
something's got to give.
Yeah. You just got to see if rest will help it. And they've already announced, I think they have not officially announced the IL move, but they've already penciled in Clark Schmidt, I believe, for his start on Tuesday. No, they haven't really. Yeah. Okay. So I think Clark Schmidt's getting bumped up, which it's the same number of days or normal rest for him because of the off day. And then they'll have to call up somebody for Wednesday, Brito, or somebody will get called up.
And that's the beauty about having a guy like Brito who's had early season experience. Now, if somebody does go down, you have someone in the minor leagues who's done that before. Davey Garcia is another guy who's seemingly on a clearer path to hopefully a success stint in the majors when he's back. But yeah, they got a little bit of depth now.
The Yankees are dipping into the minors. It's not like the depth is going to come. If this injury, quote unquote, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
Yeah, keep going. Nothing.
If this injury, and I'm using quotes, if this IL stint happened a month from now, maybe you'd be looking at like Carlos Rodon coming back and sort of taking that spot. Stop it. So who's coming back first, Rodon or Montes? Because Montes is starting his throwing program, so the race is on now.
Damn, he's throwing already.
They said late summer for Montes.
Late summer?
That's what I read. That's very vague.
When does the summer technically end? Because for my entire life, I thought my birthday was in the summer, but it's not. It's the spring still.
So
I found this out like 2 years ago.
To most people, the summer is Memorial Day to Labor Day. But technically, it's like middle of June to middle of September is the summer.
Okay, so we're talking about a September?
The summer solstice, the summer, right? Like, and then the summer goes to fall like sometime in mid-September. So yeah, September 15th.
If we're looking at Montas in like August, September, then Rodon better goddamn well be back by then.
Late summer to me means late August in baseball terms. If you say late summer, he's coming back in the month of August at some point.
I agree.
Or else you would say September return.
Yeah. Which is a clarification of right before the playoffs.
I heard them say that
we've seen that story play out before last year.
Yeah, no doubt. I heard one of the beat reporters say that if his throwing program goes perfectly based on how long it normally takes, it's the first week of September. With never a setback for Montas. Yeah.
So when I read,
does that mean Rodon can
hitters
this week faster?
Maybe he's going to throw hard. His bullpen's at like 92, 93. Building that arm strength
it's
up.
Creeping up. What is he normally? I don't know.
90.
I've never seen him pitch.
96, 97.
Rodon throws 97.
Yeah.
I was noticing him in the dugout this during the Dodgers series more than I guess I have noticed him.
Or the mustache sticks out
for whatever reason. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, you're this guy celebrating things that just happened. Like, how do you go about that? How do you go about that? You're an asshole. Like, you haven't done anything yet.
He's not an asshole.
Of money. Yeah, he is. You're making a lot of you're making a lot of money. You know, I'm saying in the clubhouse, you haven't done a damn thing. You
for him, it's
stepped on the field yet. It's an awkward position.
It's got to be incredibly awkward because if he was on this team last year, he could, by all accounts, just celebrate. You've already bonded with your team. But when you've never contributed on the field to that new team you signed with, you almost have to just like sit back and not do it. But then at the same time, you're not doing anything. And guys in that clubhouse are like, hey, you're a part of this team. Like, why aren't you celebrating? It's a lose-lose situation.
It's a very awkward teammate situation for him. And I don't know what his personality is. If it's like, you know, if he's super outgoing and just like comes in, it doesn't seem like that at all. And the mustache doesn't really give me that vibe, but yeah, it's awkward. It's a little awkward. And if I'm in his head, I'm feeling awkward.
Definitely. I don't know what I would do in that position. I think it would be hard for me to be celebrating. I don't feel like I would, because when you're not contributing to something, it's difficult to sort of get that camaraderie of like to truly be happy. Like, obviously he wants to win, he wants his team to win, but he was supposed to be a major factor here and he's just been a non-factor. That's got to be almost worse than just if you're struggling. If you're on the field and struggling,
at least you're out there trying hard. Which is exactly what got him on the IL in the first place, trying too hard.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring all this pitching depth up is because there was stories written this past week that MLB execs believe Shane Bieber is going to be moved at the deadline. So back when we were doing the GM plans, Logan and I were trying to figure out something to trade for Bieber, and just nothing made sense as far as like trading the prospects away. We just didn't think it like logically made sense for Cleveland, but at this point they're desperate for offense. I don't know that the Yankees would be in on Bieber, but it's interesting to see like he would, if he or Giolito gets moved, like there could be some major arms moved this summer.
Yeah, Dylan Cease as well, right? He's not had the great year, but he was top flight. I mean, he's at his best. He's in that same category as those guys. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in how that shakes out, especially with the AL Central though. That's the one thing that gives me pause, is that the AL Central is so weak that it doesn't feel like anybody's ever out of it. And if that's the case, then, you know, unless you're those two, especially the Guardians, caught myself. The Guardians are known for giving up guys to feed their system, and they've been very good at it while staying competitive. So,
and they usually when they trade away a pitcher, that probably means he's no longer going to be good or as good.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if they gave up if they gave up Bieber at that point. But he also hasn't having the greatest year either. So
no, he's not. But he's still. All these guys are still going to have high value. Isn't Giolito going to be? Isn't this his walk year for Giolito? So Giolito is in a different case than Bieber and Cease because of the control that they have. I mean, the number one prospect or the number one guy in the Yankee system that I think is a candidate to be moved would be Peraza. He's hitting at AAA again, and like Volpe has been really struggling.
He's mashing at AAA.
Yeah, so Volpe hit 174 in the month of May, and then entering Sunday, I know he had the huge home run. Like, once again, late and close, this guy has been money. He hit the big home run to give the Yankees insurance on Sunday, but he had a 300 OPS coming into Sunday in his last 42 plate appearances. Okay, so he has been a complete non-factor, lost at the plate. Peraza is
until it counts. Then he shows up.
Peraza was hitting 380 in AAA in his last 11 games. Volpe, you know, he's been asked about it. He said all the right things. He talked about how he struggled at AA too when he first got there. So like, this is another case of struggling at a new level, which, you know, we knew it was going to happen. It's been a really weird season for Volpe because, like we said, late and close, his numbers are awesome. So he's had impactful hits, and he has contributed to this team and had literally game-winning hits.
Yeah.
But he's never at any point gotten on a roll to where he's been, 11 for 40 or 11 for 35 or something where you can sort of say like, oh, his batting average is like good over this stretch or something like that. So it's been I think
the beginning of him
season.
Getting into the leadoff spot was he hit a little stretch that
we thought so, but then we looked up. But we looked up the numbers, and his batting average was still in the low 200s over that time. He had some pop, and he was getting on base. He was walking, if you remember. He was walking his walks, but like he's not walking anymore.
Yeah. What's his walk rate over the last month in May? Actually, is it significantly lower? As
yes,
well?
it is. May was awful. He had like a 500 OPS in May, so he wasn't walking. He wasn't hitting. He had some home runs. He had a couple big home runs.
Yeah.
That's it.
So. If for everybody looking at the Peraza stat line in AAA, just remember that if Volpe's in AAA, he's probably putting up numbers very similar to that, if not better. It's the jump into the major league. So yeah, okay, it looks flashy, it looks sexy because there's someone down there putting up gaudy numbers. But again, AAA, major leagues, big difference here. And we've seen Peraza in the majors. They're both going to struggle out of the gate. And Aaron Judge, 50% strikeout clip in his first half season. In 2016, when he came up, he was bad.
I saw a clip of Judge in 2016. I don't know what it wasn't the first home run. Like I don't know what this was a clip of. He looks like a completely different human. Like in 20, his batting stance is entirely different. I know. He did everything. He redid his stride, the way he loads, like everything. You talked to his hitting coach. Like it was a fascinating episode.
It's actually,
if you want to go back and listen
to that. When you think about it, it's one of the all-time changes in a way, an approach at the plate for where he's gotten and where the consistency that he's had since that major adjustment between 16 and 17. You could look back at the history of baseball and the history of players and identify when a guy changed their swing to. I don't know if there's one that's gotten more of a success. Right.
Once you get to the majors, you're thinking like, okay, you've made it to the majors. Now just continue to do you and make some minor tweaks, not tear it down and build it back up, which is what he did.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's remarkable to see how it's happened. And that's the thing. Both of these guys, and I'm not comparing Volpe to Judge, but I am, because both guys, when they get to the next level, they had struggles, like big struggles, and then they rebounded. They made the adjustments. And Volpe's done the same thing. He was talking to the media saying that, the first couple months of AA, when he got there, he struggled, similar to what he's got here. So he needs the time, and that's where everybody has to be patient with. The numbers will catch up to themselves, but he needs the time to do that. And that's why looking at Peraza, like I'm so happy that Peraza is hitting in AAA, because what this means is that he very well could get an opportunity to play every day somewhere else and will bring value to this team. That's it. Like
bring value to the team on the trade market though.
Yes.
Yeah. So the best stretch that Volpe has had so far this year, if we want to condense it, 11 games between April 24th and May 5th, he hit 300, but then we can extend that a little further. 21 games, April 13th to May 5th, he hit 270 with a 784 OPS. And that's kind of, I think, the leadoff, like when he was in the leadoff mostly, the leadoff spot. You compared him to Judge with the just struggling at the new level. I mean, he keeps getting Jeter comparisons. And they did this again on the Fox broadcast. Like Smoltz brought up the fact, like, oh, Jeter.
Smoltz is an idiot. That's okay. Keep going. Sorry, I had to say that. I can't stand it. The way he talks, I feel like he talks to us like.
Oh, does he hate the Yankees? Does it bother?
No, I don't even care about that. I don't even care about the Yankee bias. He's a condescending prick when he talks. That's it. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Well, he was defending Volpe. Okay.
Well, good. See, now you know how I really feel. Even when he's on our side.
Was like, if you look at Derek Jeter to this point, it's not that different. And then Derek Jeter became Derek Jeter. Like at this point, through 61 games, Jeter had a 265 batting average with only 2 home runs, a 724 OPS, 13 extra base hits, and 3 stolen bases. To this point in 1996 through 61 games. Volpe through about the same number of plate appearances, 235 versus 241, has a 193 batting average. So that's the major difference. The batting average is way down. Jeter had more hits, but Volpe has 9 home runs, a 631 OPS, 16 extra base hits, so more extra base hits, and 13 stolen bases. So we've known what he's been able to do on the bases.
Although that's slowed down a lot because when you're
he's not been on base.
You can't steal bags. Yeah.
So Jeter was getting more hits. He was getting a lot, singles mostly. And then Jeter in the second half absolutely took off for the Yankees in 96, won Rookie of the Year. But he won Rookie of the Year for his second half, not because start to finish he was amazing. Volpe, would have to have one hell of a turnaround at this point to win Rookie of the Year.
I don't know where. I haven't looked at to see who he's in competition with, but with his production numbers now, if he's able to get some of his,
sure,
on base percentages, batting, like it actually doesn't. He could really be right in the thick of things because of the production numbers.
Yeah, if he gets his batting average up to the 230s with a hot second half, and he has 20 home runs or 18 home runs or something, then you're in that conversation.
For sure.
But I think Jeter ended the year with over a 300 batting average. I think he ended up in double digits in home runs. So Jeter, well, can you guys look up Jeter's second half numbers in 96? I'm guessing, I bet he hit 330 and probably, with a over 800 OPS. Complete guess, just based on where he finished and where he was about this point in the season.
Yep.
And it's unfair to compare him to Derek Jeter because of the shortstop situation in New York Yankees and first ballot Hall of Famer, the whole deal.
It's completely unfair.
Yeah,
it's completely unfair.
But at the same time, the man in late and close and clutch moments, very Jeter-esque.
Yeah.
Sorry, Logan.
No, 350 batting average, 868 OPS in the second half. So he was
monster.
He was monster, and his OPS plus was 128.
I don't know. Steroids.
Not one person.
I know. That was the point of
because everyone was juiced out of their brains hitting 9 million foot home runs.
He had.
Man, baseball was fun back then.
Actually, looking at that delta between when steroids seemingly tapered off to the gap between that OPS plus, that's interesting actually to see where the entire field came back to earth.
Yeah, right. Like that would be a 160 OPS plus today, I think. 350 and an almost 900 OPS. Mm-hmm. Like 150, 160 if I had to guess.
Yeah. No, it's a completely different game, but is Volpe going to hit 350 with an 860 OPS in the second half? Probably not, but
he might.
But it's not impossible. The Yankees are coming back home after their West Coast trip, and Game Time has you covered for the most affordable tickets this week at Yankee Stadium. I was looking up, and there are 2 tickets available for Wednesday's game in section 110, which is lower level, right before the foul pole in right field, for under $50 per ticket. Now, normally, I don't really recommend sitting in that section because I think the 200 level will give you a better vantage point. However, if you can get there for $50, that's a really good deal. There's also some really great concessions right around there. City Winery has got some good food right behind that section. So if you want to check that out, use Game Time. The app has a ton of cool features and is easy to use. It shows you trending tickets, what sections the best deals are in. It calls out the cheapest options and flash deals and much more so you can make informed purchases. There's also event cancellation protection so you can buy with confidence. Some of the reasons why I like using Game Time is you can get images of your seats before you buy so you know what to expect. It's a super fast buying process. It's 2 taps and you're done. The tickets are also sent right to your phone, so you don't have to go through your email to find them. And you can do this without stress by using Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code BRONX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, that's downloading the app, create an account. Our code BRONX gets you $20 off your first purchase. Thank you to Game Time for sponsoring us today. Before we talk about some of the things from the series that we haven't touched on, anything else from the news that you want to touch on, Scott? Injuries? Did we cover all the injuries?
I think so. Need some pitching back. That's the big thing I'm looking at.
Severino on Friday. So full transparency, I didn't watch the Seattle games. It was too late for me. But it's Friday night. Yeah, I'm gonna tune in. Let's see what's going on. First inning, boom. I'm right. All right, guess I'm not watching this game. Sending me to bed early, Luis Severino. My immediate thought was, what do the Dodgers know that he's doing? Because when we've seen Severino get crushed like this, it's been against the Red Sox, which had JD Martinez in the lineup and had Mookie Betts in the lineup. And what do you know? Mookie Betts hit a home run off of him. JD Martinez hit a home run off of him the other night. Like, my immediate reaction, and maybe it's just the cynic in me, is like, was he tipping?
I hope he was. I hope he was tipping, and that was the reason. His velocity was down, and I think that's also a factor in here. But yeah, I don't know. I go back to that visit at the mound when we were in the stands when Severino's outing
Right.
before that, and I'm just hoping that wasn't actually something that he was able to mask for the rest of that start, and velocity gets back up. That's it. I don't know if they. I don't know. It would be very difficult for me to say that these guys are picking up on something that they had on him, a couple of years ago when they were with the Red Sox. But he pitched. Look, that first inning he got snake bit. There's no doubt, and then he settled in a little bit more compared to what he looked like in that first. But I think this next start's going to be really important.
Wait, did he have a start in between the San Diego start and this one? Did he not have a start?
No, this was it.
Oh, that just seems like so long ago.
No, it was not the Saturday before.
Yeah, so I guess it was a week in between, Saturday to Friday. What did they say about that mound visit after the game? Because we were at that game, and I kind of glossed over it. Like, nothing was said about why it was just like.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything that was troubling by any means. So, but at the same time, it's like, the guy comes out and gets rocked immediately. And there could be, maybe there's a tendency that he has on a particular pitch that these guys know about and they're looking for, and then they saw. But at the same time, it's like, it could be tendencies in pitches. It could be tendencies with a particular pitch and where he likes to put it. There's a lot of things. They do have a book on him. There's no doubt. Their book is thicker than other people. So they've seen him before. And when you see a guy, whether he's tipping or not, you just have more of a comfort level. And obviously they are comfortable with him. They both hit him. So I just hope it was a blip on the radar and we're not looking at something that's larger, because with Severino, as you enjoy talking about the injury, he's an injury guy. And if there's something there, then it could be way worse than what we're talking about right now. You don't like this label, do you?
Well, so I was stupid me. I was reading some of the Instagram comments, I think, from that clip, and people were like, "Oh, Andrew only wants non-injury guys," as if that's a stupid thing to want.
They just don't exist.
But that wasn't my point. Oh, just find non-injury guys. Everyone was just like not understanding my point. You don't also understand what my point was.
That's a big part of your point. That is a big part of your point.
My point was, if you have an injury guy on the roster, how about try something different? You might wind up with another injury guy. I'm fully aware of that. But we know Luis Severino is going to get injured. So if you re-sign him, he will get injured. And you have Carlos Rodon, who also is injured a lot. And you have Nestor Cortes, who, he's injured. And you have the rest of the rotation question marks, except Gerrit Cole. We should talk about him because he did pitch well, finally.
He did, until he was injured.
Cramped up. But so that was my whole point. It's like, yeah, I understand there's a lot of injury guys, more so than ever. You're probably only going to have injury guys. But maybe try to find a non-injury guy.
Every contract in today's world is a massive risk.
So, Luis, getting back onto the Severino thing, 14 out of the 19 balls put in play against him in that start were 94 miles an hour or above. So immediately right there, that tells me either they knew it was coming or just terrible, terrible command and pitch location, which it could have been a combination of both. His velocity was also down, but at the same time, he even said, I should be able to survive at the velocity I was throwing at. Can he throw 98 miles an hour? Yes. But if he's throwing 94, 95, that's if he's locating it, that's still plenty good enough to get people out.
No doubt. And I'm glad he's saying that. Like when I hear that, that's to me sounding like a guy that knows he's not always going to have that top flight stuff as far as velocity, but that he should have at this point evolved enough as a pitcher to be able to get guys out. And yeah, here's the difference. 98 and you're missing, by an inch or two. 94, you're missing by an inch or two is the big difference between a barrel and a not barrel.
Hasn't Gerrit Cole disproven that?
Well, no, because they're different pitchers. First of all, they're the way that they approach a batter is different. But 98, when you are throwing a fastball, again, if it's 94 on the black, no problem. If it's 94 in the heart of the plate, it's a big problem. It's all about location.
If it's 98 in the heart of the plate, it's still a big problem.
Yeah, it's all about location. That's the point. All about location. If you locate a fastball that's bigger, but you have if you have a 98 fastball up and a 94 mile an hour fastball up, which one's going to get hit?
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't help, but no matter what, 98, 100, 102.
Location is paramount. Yeah.
Like we've seen Aroldis Chapman, even when he was at his best, if he was not in command of his fastball, he was still able to get hit. So, yeah, I mean, you hope that it was just a bad outing for Severino. Or like you said, if he was tipping, then they can figure that out and fix it. And like, that's sort of one of those things that you breathe a sigh of relief that it's not something more serious than if he's injured or something.
If he's tipping from something that was that long ago, then yeah, they need to fix it because clearly it's an issue.
Well, the issue back in when he was with the Red Sox was when there was a runner on base, his hand positioning on his slider was different than his hand positioning. Because when you're in the windup, there was, no hand positioning when he came to set. So that was the issue back then. I don't know that would be the same issue, but they could have been looking at tape. But the tough thing is though, this was his third start back. So it's like you have two starts of tape. That's not enough tape to like find the tip on a guy, I don't think.
No, that's why they're going back and just know his tendencies and know what he does. And they're looking for old stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Gerrit Cole thing on Saturday was a little concerning because he was dominating. He was cruising 6 innings, 4 hits, only a run, 5 strikeouts. And then the Yankees were up in that game. I think it was 5-1 at the time. And I was like, is this one of those situations where they're pulling him sooner than later just to like get a good start under his belt because he had been struggling so much? But
he's not that guy. He's not that guy. You don't handle Gerrit Cole with kid gloves. In that respect. You still think that was what it was? No, I think.
No, I don't. No, I don't think that's what it was. They said he was cramping, and I think he probably had to.
Yeah,
poop
I know,
but
but phantom cramp. No, you definitely don't. He's not going to let you do that.
I agree. Yeah, but they said it was cramping. Did they say what he was? Where it was his legs, his butt, his stomach? What was
leg
cramping?
cramp? Usually,
was he not hydrated enough? Like, was it too hot out in Los Angeles? Did he not drink enough water? What's happening here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Did he not eat his banana?
He should have eaten his banana.
Yeah.
Should have eaten his banana. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt them. That's at the end of the day.
Yeah, because Judge saved the freaking game.
Well, there you go. Someone had to run through a wall. And you're out with cramps. I'm running through walls.
He was quoted as saying he was drinking water and eating bananas. You kidding me? He actually said that? I didn't know that. Gerrit Cole is such a dork. Oh, yeah, man, is he a dork.
Just listen to him talk.
And then Sunday, so we had the pitcher's duel. Bobby Miller. That guy looks good, huh? Holy crap.
Yeah, they have some for what the Dodgers just continue to flush out young talent over and over and over and over again. Like they pay for people. They'll go out on the free agent market and get folks, but my God, do they know how to draft and know how to identify talent? They're good. And that's a problem when you're good at both of those things.
He's the number one pitching prospect in their system. And this makes 3 good outings for him to start his career. I was talking to Jeff from the Dodger Heads podcast. He was telling me about him. But yeah, this kid looks filthy. Yeah, Herman matched him. That was the thing. Like Herman had a great outing. Herman, get rid of the sticky stuff and all the things that are surrounding him has been one of the most consistent Yankees pitchers on this team for the last month and a half. It really has. He's been very good. And, whether he's had to exit a game because he was, being a little too liberal with the rosin, but he's been good. He's been very good. Yep.
Can't take that away from him. I don't like him, but he's been a good pitcher.
Yeah, it's like I remember in 2019 after he got suspended, we were like, all right, just cut bait with him, and we're still here talking about still in the rotation.
And I would have been totally fine if they had done that.
Oh yeah,
Still, even with the success looking at him, totally fine.
All right, got the White Sox and the Red Sox, so both colored Sox are coming into town this week. I might be at next Saturday's game if
You
no
gonna stay the
baby
whole
comes.
game?
Probably not. No,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not. Baby's 2 weeks from today, as we're talking.
2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Man,
Scheduled
couldn't happen today on my birthday, huh?
Scheduled for
I thought we were trying to
7:30.
do that.
No, it's actually going to be on my birthday, June 19th.
Oh, really?
The C-section is scheduled for 7:30 in the morning, June 19th.
That's crazy. How do you feel about that? You have to share a birthday with your kid?
I don't care. Leanne wanted to switch it. She tried to get the 20th once they scheduled it, and there was no openings.
Man. Well, you know,
I really don't care. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm like, why would I care?"
because you have to share your birthday now. Or you know who's going to care is your son
Or daughter.
or daughter.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So they'll probably go through this period where it's cool, and then they'll hate it, and then it'll be cool again.
Or they'll just hate it for a long time. They have to share a birthday with you. You're gonna be like humbug the entire time, and they're gonna be celebrating.
Do you care about your birthday?
No, I don't.
So neither do I. So like, if your kid shared a birthday with you, would you care?
I would do everything for my kid on that day, but I know in the back of their mind they're gonna know that it's also not their birthday; it's someone else's birthday, and they have to share that day.
So the thing is, the 18th is Father's Day.
Who gets the dinner? Who gets the dinner?
So we're already like, we've had this whole conversation, right? Like the 18th is Father's Day. So some years, all three of the things will be the same day. I was born on Father's Day. So once every 7 years, it winds up, oh, my birthday's on Father's Day. But no matter what going forward, that weekend is always going to be Father's Day, Andrew's birthday, kid's birthday for the rest of our lives.
So you're just celebrating your birthday on Father's Day, basically.
Basically.
Now you're really you're getting completely screwed.
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm just saying. Such is life.
It's a birthday. Who
but it's also Father's Day. You're getting screwed. You're getting screwed twice.
Yeah, because it's just gonna be lumped into one, and then it's like the one day where the kid should actually be nice on Father's Day. There's gonna be, well, it's my birthday too, so
you're hosed.
But would that be any different if it was the 20th or the 18th or the 15th? No, it's all close, so it all.
I feel like you just need to claim a weekend, and you need to put a line in the sand where if it is the same, then you get the following weekend or the weekend before. You need to stand up for yourself here, not just for your birthday, but more for Father's Day. You know, because that could get robbed from you as well. And in theory, that's a day that you're supposed to be doing, not doing much, which never happens. But yeah. You're getting robbed, so you need to put a line in the sand. There needs to be a calendar adjustment here in on your family calendar.
Maybe I'll take June 5th and I'll just take your day.
It's fine. We're in different households. Stand up for yourself. Let's go.
All right. Anything else?
You're already in the basement.
Yeah, I can't go any further down. I checked. This is the lowest that I can go in the house.
Yeah. So the kid's taking your room, the place where you podcast, and now they're taking your birthday. And Father's Day?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's a lot.
There's a lot. You got to make the adjustment. The adjustment's now on you.
I got a shed out back. I might be out there next year.
You got a she shed?
Yeah. The garage is too echoey, so I'll go in the shed. All right. You good? Anything else you want to talk about on your birthday?
No. Turn the page.
Another year. Another year.
Another year.
Another year. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode. We'll talk to you again. When are we talking again? So Monday's off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I don't know. We don't like doing Friday morning episodes. So I don't know.
But it keeps happening. Keeps happening. What happened to Thursday is a getaway day.
They're not going anywhere.
I know, but Thursday or an off day. Thursday's like they're not respecting the Thursday. I feel like the in between.
Well, this is your compulsion to do a podcast and not miss a game.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we recorded Thursday during the day and released it, or even, it's fine. Like most of it's going to be relevant.
Unless Judge runs through a wall.
Assuming Judge doesn't run through a wall or someone doesn't throw a perft game or something.
You
if
know that
happened,
damn well they will.
Yes,
And
but then
we'll be sitting here at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, but otherwise we don't add on. If it's just a normal regular 6-2 ball game, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe the people should tell us what to do.
Okay, tell us what to do.
We'll do it. Tell us what to do.
They're going to be like, record after the game, the entire thing.
We won't do that.
We're not doing that. All right, we'll talk to you guys in a few
lie
days.
and tell you we're doing that, but we won't.